Hi guys, we're going to go ahead and do another example of the solution stoichiometry problem. Be very similar to the one that you did yesterday. The difference is this one will involve ratios that are not 1-to-1. So again, solution stoichiometry is just like other stoichiometry, other than when you're trying to find moles for something, you'll be using molarity. Of course, we know molarity equals moles over liters, so we'll be using that equation. So let's go ahead and work a problem where we don't have a 1-to-1 ratio. So let's start out with hydrochloric acid again. We're familiar with that one. And this time, rather than reacting it with sodium hydroxide, we'll react it with some calcium hydroxide. And we will get a salt. So in this example, we're going to get calcium chloride. Chloride is -1, calcium is +2, therefore you have CaCl2. And again, we will get water. So a neutralization reaction again. An acid and a base, hydrochloric acid, the base calcium hydroxide making calcium chloride salt and water. So in this case, our ratio will be determined by the balanced equation. And right now it's not balanced. So we have 2 Cl's. So we better put a 2 over here. And we have 2 hydrogens and 2 hydrogens. So we're going to need 4 hydrogens over here. So we're going to have to put a 2 there. Looks like that takes care of our oxygens. 2 oxygens, 2 oxygens. Calcium is good. So this time the ratio is 2 moles of acids reacting with 1 mole of the base. And of course, we'll get 1 mole of the calcium chloride and we'll get 2 moles of water. But typically in these problems, unless they're asking about one of these, you would need to know these two here. But anyway, we've done step number 1. We have a balanced equation. So typically, again, they would be given something in the problem. So let's just say in our problem, we were given 2 liters of a 0.5 molar HCl, and we neutralized that with some 75 liters of calcium hydroxide. So we had some calcium hydroxide in the lab. We added it to the HCl, this 2 liters of HCl, until this reaction was over. And the question is, well, what was the molarity, or what is the molarity of our calcium hydroxide if it took 0.75 liters to neutralize it? So step 2, after you've written the equation, is simply find moles of what you're given. We're given our hydrochloric acid. So moles can be found by using our molarity equation. 0.5 molar equals 2 moles over, or excuse me, X moles. Let's get rid of that. X moles over our 2 liters. So if we do some simple algebra there, we have X equal 0.5 times 2, which is going to be 1 mole of HCl. If we look at our ratio, it's a 2-to-1. So most of us can do that in our head. If you can't do it in your head, a 2-to-1 is the same as, we actually have 1 mole over HCl, a 1 to X. So, of course, another way to look at it is this number has to be half of whatever this number is. So if this number is 1, which it is, 1 mole of HCl, how many moles of CaOH2 will it react with? Well, half of 1 is 0.5. So if we solve for X here, we get X equals 0.5 moles. And that, of course, is 0.5 moles of our calcium hydroxide. So when we did the reaction, what really happened is 1 mole of HCl reacted with 0.5 moles of calcium hydroxide. So the question is, what is the molarity of that calcium hydroxide? Well, we know molarity equals moles over liters. We know moles, we figured it, 0.5 over, we were given liters, 0.75 liters, that was moles. 0.5 divided by 0.75 gives us 0.67 molar. So the answer to the question, what is the molarity of our calcium hydroxide, is 0.67 molar. Problems are very similar to yesterday. The only difference is they are not 1-to-1. So when you're figuring moles of what your unknown is, you have to take those ratios into consideration. They can be whatever ratios. They might be 2-to-1 like this one. They could be 1-to-3. They could be 3-to-1. It could be whatever. All right. Okay, you're going to get some problems today where you'll be solving these types of problems where the ratios are not 1-to-1. So good luck. If you have questions, make sure you post them on the homework question channel. See you later.